What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a little bit more of an exciting topic in Pokemon Go. With a recent event giving you so many Shuckle in the wild, a lot of people are getting a lot of questions about Shuckle. Maybe you yourself were able to get yourself a shiny version of it. I myself got the biggest monster of them all, coming in at 10 CP. Definitely excited about that. But in regards to Shuckle, a lot of people just kind of laugh at the Pokemon. They're like, come on, what's it got, like 300 CP? And you are a little bit wrong on that. It actually breaks past that 400 CP mark. But the reason why we are talking about it today is not because of its attack stat at 17. It's not because of its stamina stat at 85. It's because of its defense stat at 396. Its defense stat is nearly at 400 alone, which is insane. So it brings to the question, how good is this Pokemon as a gym defender? Can a Pokemon at a super low CP like that actually hang with the big boys like Blissey, Chansey, Snorlax, a couple of those? And the results are actually fairly interesting, so I thought we would go ahead and talk about that today. But first things first, in regards to the weaknesses to Shuckle, there's actually only 3 weaknesses of Rock, Steel, and then Water. So yeah, we've only got 3 different Pokemon, but as many of you know, the best gym defenders are weak to the fighting type. So at least in this case, this is a positive for Shuckle, for the fact that the most obvious gym defenders to use, it's not going to be necessarily super effective against Shuckle. So it at least has that going for it, but I figured the best way to do this is to actually go out and test it in the field. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see how it performs. So we're gonna go out here and actually field test this to see just how good Shuckle is. First things first, we're gonna be going up against this monster, courtesy of one of my fellow Pokemon Go friends who put it into this gym. We have Shuckle defending it all by itself. As far as Shuckle is concerned, there are 3 different weaknesses. So what we are gonna go at it with is the best Pokemon possible versus a Shuckle, and that is versus Metagross. So something kind of interesting about this is being a level 3 raid boss. We talked a little bit about how difficult the raid boss was, to where it was one of the few level 3 Pokemon that could not be soloed. So I'm a little bit curious as to how it will perform in a gym. Now this is not technically a maxed out Shuckle, but it is fairly close in at level 37. And with it being lucky, it's probably not too far away from it. But I'm a little bit curious to see just how well this Shuckle holds up. To be honest, I would say that for the most part, you're looking for just kind of like a time waster. But as we get into it, it looks like it ended up surviving 2 charge moves along with a couple of other fast moves. Now, is this going to actually deter somebody? Let's just say it is no Blissey, but as ironic as it is, if you think about it, the fact that it is a 400 CP Pokemon and it can hang in there for 2+ charge moves out of an amazing Pokemon means it is at least worth considering, or at least just kind of putting in as a joke, especially if you have a shiny variation. So yeah, that just about wraps it up. It's kind of like a toss-up. Yes, it can take up to 2 charge moves, which is fairly impressive from like a level 35 at Metagross. I mean, come on, that's pretty good. But then at the same time, is it necessarily a time waster? I don't think it's the best one. It's not that bad. Clearly it performed way better as a level 3 raid boss. It's still an interesting Pokemon to put in the gym, but if you're thinking like, hey, I should go ahead and invest all of my Stardust, get it up to level 40, I'm gonna go with a no on that one. It is a funny gym defender in the first place, and the fact that it is such a low CP means it will decay at a much slower rate. So keep that in mind, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna be able to take out a Pokemon like Blissey. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. I wanted to extend a huge thank you to the supporters over at Patreon. You definitely make this possible, and I 100% appreciate this support. If you are interested in supporting my channel on Patreon, definitely feel free to check out the link in the description.